Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Stasis. After the craziest back surgery I have ever seen in my life, John comes out alive on the other side. And one of those crazy-ass beings crawled in here and salvaged whatever they wanted to out of this body right here while we were under the knife. And so I don't really know what's going to happen with that. But we do have our personal data tag now. We have a bloody empty pistol. And I think we need to go over to that door. It's probably going to be a minute or two. He's not feeling so hot. Still have this storage tank. Kind of want to see what the deal is with this. Can we take it? Seemingly no. Organic receptacle, still can't do anything with that. Or we already did everything with it that we could. So, uh-oh. Calm down, John. Hang in there, buddy. I know you did just have some crazy little dongles ripped out of your spine by a malfunctioning machine, no less, but we gotta get to that door, man. Just gotta make our way there. Oh my god. Is that more blood? That seems like a lot more blood than I remember. This doesn't seem... Huh. That seems like a lot more blood than when we were here first. It's also been 5 days since I played this, so that's probably also part of it. Come on, John. You got it, man. So wait. Can we take this elevator now? I say we go in here. Awesome. This works. I really hope we didn't miss anything in that other room. I probably should have gone in there first.
A biological quarantine has been initiated. Level 2. Kitchen knife and snowflake are off limits.
Would have never imagined I'd ever hear that in the same sentence in my entire life.
Level 3. Hydroponics is off limits.
Oh shit. Damn, look at all that. Whoa.
Perfect.
Where are you, John? Without the PDT, I can't track shit.
Hydroponics. Or what's left of hydroponics. The shaft's covered in growth. I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, wait. Let me check the blueprints. Yes, hydroponics has a service elevator.
Affirmative.
Keep me in the loop.
Alright, well, first thing I see right away is this corpse over here. Edwin Tiong, PDT 934433, security level 0, so he's of no use to me at all here. Although the fans were installed to keep the air cycling, they're now helping reduce the buildup of vegetation, as there is absolutely a nauseating amount of it. This doorway's bright lighting indicates the entrance to another laboratory. And okay, let's take this one. I feel more comfortable taking the smaller of the two. Oh, yeah, good.
This is ridiculous. How did it grow this world in a few months?
Of that, I do not know. A broken vaporizer. The vaporizer lies...
These plants can't naturally develop this fast.
Kane developed the technology to accelerate plant growth. Oxygen is big business.
Vaporizer pad. This is an evaluation platform for specimens and samples to be inserted into glass chambers. Oh, computer terminal. Here we go. Always a good sign. The Vaporizer. Report. The Vaporizer, the perfected MK5, or let's see, Mark V model of the Kane Corporation Trans-State Modifier. Using advanced and unique molecularization technology, the vaporizer has the ability to shift a targeted substance between gas, liquid, and solid states without any of the structural breakdowns seen in objects shifted between states on a regular basis. The Mark V is the latest model, but it hasn't yet been rolled into mass production because of the current difficulty fueling the vaporizer with resources on board the Groom Lake. Recent experiments undertaken were more than satisfactory, and it passed the Kane's safety and security tests with no adverse effects causing harm to the user observed. It has been graded level 4 because of the specific nature of its technology and the limited quantity of the existing vaporizers. During an experiment recently carried out on the royal jelly produced by Hydroponics, Dr. Gray and other observers commented on the remarkable speed at which the jelly was transformed into gas, thus placating their insect population. Interesting.
Vaporizer chamber compromised. Chamber is not attacked.
Well, that's probably because it's cracked. What about this computer terminal? Dr. Sebastian Gray. Finally, we have more room for the Lincesi Harvey strain, which I've been working on so hard. It's days like this that humanity truly proves why it crawled out of the ocean before any other. My section has been expanded. I have more staff, true, but they are drones and have little other function. Now we can expand the research potential of Project Kitchen Knife and see what else the plants can yield. Excuse me. The oxygen production rate is quite unlike anything my initial projections could have predicted. Last year, it became the worst-kept secret on the Groom Lake, and all of a sudden I had more interns that I could comfortably employ. Their only function is to stumble about the place and ask troublesome questions that I have little time to answer. If only our world was more like that of insects. I have plenty of workers and drones, but none of the unwavering loyalty. Bees work and work, the faith in their queen unquestioning and constant. That kind of loyalty is beyond price. These interns of mine have their uses, I suppose. We always need volunteers willing to get close to the Queen. I am surrounded by incompetence. One of those imbecilic interns got too close to the Queen and she showed him her affection. Quite amusing, though not to him. This means that I must attend another accident debriefing with the board, though. Dr. Milan does love to test me. I see him up on the hearing bench and he grins at me in that supercilious look that he has perfected over the years. I suppose I have him to thank for my current position. It was his recommendation to the board that made them hire me in the first place. Still, I believe he has come to enjoy these little power plays. He does so like to keep me under his heel. That, my dear doctor, is only a temporary situation. Once this project is complete, the chess games that we play will no longer be our only battleground. Regarding the project, some of the bug eggs failed to hatch properly. I suspect this is why the Queen was more aggressive than usual. There are more than enough drones to continue the collection work. Their unique chemical properties are doing wonders for the plants. Although I'm running short of interns prepared to work in close proximity to them since the last incident. The worker I appreciate the most is Akiza. I was astonished to discover that she is related to the legendary Dr. Tenshu of the eugenics wars. I did consider mentioning it to her, but I sense she is oddly ashamed to have him as her ancestor. If it wasn't for men like him, our profession would be a hollow shell of what it is now. Then again, if it wasn't for him, genetic research wouldn't have been put back by several generations now, would it? The ethical quandaries we face as men of science. I wonder what he did. The insects are restless. They rumble in their apiaries and are more aggressive than usual. My personal deduction is that the presence of the marine thugs aboard the ship are the cause. Armed guards are all over the place. I was stopped by one the other day and asked my reasons for going into hydroponics. Well, after explaining I was head of the damn project, I had the guard removed from his post and then the ship. This is insanity. How am I supposed to progress with these thugs around? I recall complaining about the inundation of interns. If only they were still here now. Both Ivan and Theodore disappeared from their rooms last night, and I've had to speak to security about their whereabouts. They were Akiza's assistants, and now the production of the Queen's Royal Jelly has slowed exponentially. That's been a huge blow. But a rather extraordinary anomaly has appeared in our growth pods. Well, I don't know what that word. A hitherto undiscovered strain of fungus. Its origin is something of a mystery to me. These fungal growths fascinate. At first, I thought it was a common garden variety mold, but after a substantial analysis performed by Akiza, it seems to harbor neuron activity. That is to say, it seems to exhibit rudimentary signs of intelligence. We've certainly created some unusual species on this deck, but the idea of quasi-intelligent fungus growing and evolving of its own volition is exciting and, frankly, frightening. I've asked Akiza and the remnants of her team to cultivate it, but exhibit caution where it is where it is spread. I was asked by one of Dr. Milan's assistants if the fungal substance discovered in growing in the bowels of the ship had anything to do with us. I lied, of course, but this is becoming alarming. Our experiments flourished at first. We may have lost more staff recently, but our experiments have been very fruitful indeed. Confidentially, the properties of the fungus is both extraordinary and terrifying. It has the remarkable ability to take control of a living subject's central nervous system and hypothalamus, as observed in the monkey we used for testing. The monkey shrieked and thrashed and raged for the first few days after it was exposed, and then it became quiet, observant, and uncannily intelligent. It's certainly aggressive, but then again, which viruses aren't? No, no, no. We've officially lost control of the deck. Eden now truly belongs to the beasts. We've seen strange things. I watched as the fungus took control of the deck, as it spread through the staff, and much to my shame, I watched their deaths and examined their bodies. Nobody can cross the pods because the bugs are so aggressive that when Solomon went through in a rad suit, they ripped it from his body and stung him to death. It took mere moments. Still, I live in the hope that the insects will remember me, their creator, and perhaps see me as their own. I'll bet you that probably didn't happen that way. Okay, we got one from Tenchu to Dr. Gray. I do not wish to seem unprofessional or impolite, but I would ask that you not press me on the subject of my ancestry any further. I was nearly refused entry to the medical school on the basis of my family's background, and the torment I suffered at the hands of my school peers regarding my great-great-uncle was unbearable. I'm fully aware of his actions, and I've seen countless photographs and documents of the consequences of his work. I took this position to change our world for the better, not to be reminded of the skeletons in my family's closet. I've enjoyed our working relationship thus far, Dr. Gray, but I prefer my family history no longer be a topic of our conversation. Thank you for understanding. And then from Dr. E.F. Way, I enjoyed our meal yesterday. It was refreshing to hear a man so outspoken on this ship. I appreciate your candor, and I do agree that perhaps it's time the board was shaken up a little. Although this is merely an observation rather than an action plan, I think the top leadership needs some new blood. I'd second you if you decided to take on the challenge yourself. Your impeccable scientific pedigree more than qualifies you. By the way, did you know they were keeping that new cargo? It seems rather like a waste of resources if they won't even tell us where it is. Okay, that was a lot more reading than I had planned on. Kita Yamada, civilian liaison, security level 1, and it's just one body. It looks like 2. Okay, and then we got a locked door over there, so there's really nothing else we can do here right now. Oh, metal plaque. Polished metal plaque is engraved with the slogan "Gardening." Just another day at the plant. I'm gonna take that because it looks like we can use it for something. What, I have no idea. We'll try that later. Let's go on this other side now. Glad to see John's back in running form. What the hell is this?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's some sort of insect.
Keep your distance.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Yeah, don't speak too quickly.
How big is it?
Big.
How big? Does the size of a Boeing? How about... Oh my god. A mottled abdomen, swollen egg sac, or plump milk gland. Possibly all three. It's difficult to grasp the size and form of this insect creature. Udder-like protuberances sprout from its bulbous abdomen. Okay, this is all just ridiculous. Dude, that thing is fucking gross. Okay, this is the queen they were talking about. Activate suction pumps. I'm not going to do that yet. Okay, Monday. Healthy, docile, responsive to stimuli. Milking is normal. No activity. Healthy, heightened aggression. Recommended milking with only experienced staff. No activity. So every other day something happens here. Healthy, highly aggressive, 3 personnel wounded in milking. Healthy, quiet, unusual brooding behavior. Milking normal. Healthy, aggressive, 1 fatality via venom pouches. Okay, so there's venom pouches on this thing. Do we do it, or do we not? I say we go for it. Okay. You all good? I didn't realize that activating a milking procedure would cause the entire ship to shake. Okay, now we got some creepy-ass bug milk. Got a metal plaque and some queen's milk.
This isn't gonna work.
Hey, you're absolutely right, it won't. Okay, milk processor, queen insect. I don't know if I dare go over here and actually touch it, but it's... Whoa! Okay! Alright. Alright, well, it's nice to know that we turned into a post-milking breakfast. Oh, shit, that was awesome. Okay, well, that's gross.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's some sort of insect.
Keep your distance.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Tied up. How big is it?
And by big, I mean it's absolutely fucking huge. A tall, strangely shaped tree grows out of a housing space in the floor, and milk from the creature is being fed into the tree by a pair of tubes. Sorry, couldn't see right there. Okay, so let's do the milking mechanism again. Oh, personal logs. We'll wait on the personal logs for a minute. Let's at least do the milking. Okay, so we've got some milk. Amber trickles from the trees, but most of it is hardened into an incredibly tough compound. Okay, so what have we here? There's probably going to be something important in these personal logs, I'll bet you. Oh, praise God Almighty, I couldn't be happier. Dr. Gray took me to one side and told me that I was the only person who had the skill and ability to take control of the nursery. He promoted me on the spot and said that I was now personally responsible for the queen. The royal jelly that she produces proved to be incredibly useful. I have discovered through my own analysis that not only is the jelly an essential nutrient for the insect population, but that it has other amazing physical properties too. It accelerates molecular bonding in certain substances, acting as a thickener for many natural substances, while also regenerating their natural properties. With some engineering, I imagine we could turn this into a true medical breakthrough. I imagine doctors in hospital wards on Earth using our bonding agent to heal wounds instantly. Perhaps, finally, the Tenchu name will be revered in medical history instead of reviled. The Queen is a temperamental little thing, a fiery lady to be sure. Ah, but Queenie, you forget. I grew up in a family with more than one fire-breathing dragon. If I can handle my mother, I can certainly handle you. Ha! Although, when she is milked, she's rather docile. I dare say she's rather attached to me. I'm sure I heard her purring at me. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm aware that she's a bug and all, but it sounded rather like approval. My parents kept hives of bees, so I've never been squeamish over insects, and I can tell the difference between aggression and favor. I'm still the only person who can get close without getting bitten, and her bite can leave one hell of a mark, let me tell you. Hodgkin said he'll report side effects upon his return from sick leave. In other news, Dr. Myrick, one of Dr. Gray's subordinates, has requested samples of the jelly for experiments with his tree resins. He thinks it might have a use as an industrial adhesive. That's a little away from my original intention, but I do suppose it's a start. I try so hard to be positive, to be the person whose enthusiasm never once flags nor fails. But when you start hearing rumors that appall you to your very core, I tried to shrug it off, but recently it's become harder to deny it. I've been hearing sounds from the elevator shafts, the sound of a wailing infant crying out in pain before suddenly being silenced. That is no rumor. I sometimes lay awake at night. I swear I can hear the crying of children. I can't be dreaming. I saw Ingracia to confess my fears. He gave me a prescription to help me sleep, but something in his eyes said he knew I was hearing something real. And worse, it was something he was hearing too. More rumors. Dr. Milan is using children in his research. I have to ignore it. If it were true, Kane would remove him immediately. Surely. Even Dr. Gray appears to find it an uncomfortable subject for discussion. And this is a man who slept easily when Isaac got his left cheek torn off by the Queen. Is Dr. Gray short of staff again? Once again, I'm being forced to manage multiple projects. Only this time, it's an examination of an acutely destructive new spore that seems to have infected a few of the pods. First observations, it's a parasitic fungus that grows faster than a common weed. And like a common weed, I feel it should be destroyed. But I know that Dr. Gray won't do it. He, like many of the other senior doctors, sees any new species as something to be exploited or weaponized. Halloween. In the darkness, something stirs. I can't say what. I'm too afraid to find out what it is. When Ivan and Theo disappeared a month back, we assumed they'd somehow deserted. That was the official stance taken by Dr. Milan and the board. Anyway, last night's events prove that there's something on board with us, though God knows where it's from. The Queen was more rambunctious than I've seen her before, and milking her was certainly more challenging than I'm used to. Edmund was assisting. We've been short on staff, and some of our volunteers are simply refusing to show for work. The Queen's environment has been disturbed a great deal, and so her violent tendencies are more pronounced. Edmund was on his way out of hydroponics when it happened. Some thing, pulled him into one of the air ducts. I didn't see much. I saw him walking towards the decontamination chamber, and the next moment his legs were kicking the air as whatever it was dragged him up into the ceiling, where he squealed like a pig. I'm resigning tomorrow. I did not sign up for mad science. I came to Kane to serve humanity and clear my family's name, not watch my crewmates be slaughtered by a species that Dr. Milan refuses to confirm or deny. If only I'd resigned when I said I would. And if only they hadn't ignored my demands to have the infernal fungus destroyed. It's growing over me now, over my skin. It's burrowing into my flesh. The insects attacked again today, and it seems to only worsen. Dr. Gray was destroyed by a swarm of them, and now he's only fertilizer that for that ever-ravenous mold he was so curious about. The uninfected are making an attempt to escape. This doesn't include me. The emergency flares keep the bugs away. I told them to give me the flares to hold back the bugs so they could get away. I hope they escape soon. This fungus is making my head feel funny. I'm sure I can feel it growing through my ear canal. That's disgusting. Okay, so they said something about combining this milk with this tree resin?
I think that would break.
Or would it work here?
Probably not a good idea.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Can I shoot him?
I think that'll just break it.
Yeah, it would. That's kind of the point. Really don't want that thing to be around. Okay, well, look, we're going to have to get out of this room. That's our elevator. Ah, here we go. Another laboratory. Let's go check this one out real quick before we run out of time. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Okay. We got a dead body. Chris Rogers, helmsman. Room light comm. Security level 1. Oxygen collection tank. Oh, God, there's more dead people. Charles Young is dead. Kane SEC. Jim Taylor, Kane SEC. Security level 1 and 2. Damn. A growth agent has spurred this section of vine to flourish. It's now half as thick around as the hatch you entered through. Okay, so we have oxygen collection tanks. I kind of want to get my hands on both of these.
Oxygen levels increasing.
Whoa! Holy shit! Okay. Alright. absolutely cannot turn those things on. Alright guys, well we're going to stop right here. This seems like a good place to do it. So when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Stasis, we're going to head back down into that third laboratory and see if we can kind of figure out what's going on in that room that involves not, you know, overgrowing ourselves with a crazy fungus that'll kill us in about 15 seconds. So, until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.